What's up, guys? This is Cadence Radio. This is Woomaloo. I hope y'all are doing good today. Yeah, so we had some good news today. I guess the Mueller report came out. If you guys are familiar with the Mueller report, it's the report which I know you guys know about it because it was the one Robert Mueller had on Donald Trump about Russian collusion in the elections. For 2 years, he's been investigating this, but what happened is they didn't find anything, and everybody is panicking. And I'll tell you why everybody's panicking in about a second or so. So what's happening now is straight up. I'll tell you this, and I know that a lot of people will basically doubt this, will basically get on with their lives and say there is no war happening, all conspiracy, this and that. People who research this are kind of quacks, and no one really listens to them anyways. But the war is happening. It is. It's happening at a large scale than anybody known. It has been happening for the last 10, 15 years. It first happened in Russia, and the reason why it happened in Russia, I'll give you guys a little bit of a history on that. When Putin took power in Russia, there were a whole lot about Russian oligarchs. These Russian oligarchs owned Russia. They were selling Russia to the highest bidder. That's how they were making their money. Putin came in. Putin has been a nationalist for the very longest time for Russia, and he saved his country in kicking these oligarchs out, because these oligarchs have been selling that country dry. When that happened, Putin has made Russia a lot of money. He's brought money back into that country, and the GDP has been good ever since. So Russia has money to burn. So the resources are theirs, and they do not have to siphon them off to the whole world or to whoever was wanting because of these oligarchs. That's part one. The next part two, China is still doing whatever they do. I haven't really researched lots on China, but China is a different animal. China has been a communist country for the longest time. They've prospered. Has they been a communist country? But they have made some capital gains, and they've been siphoning off a little bit of the USA for so much. Hence, coming up to the USA. The USA is in the midst of a revolution. The revolution is kicking a lot of oligarchs out, so they can so that country can take over their resources, take over everything. The reason why people do not like Mr. Donald Trump, well, the oligarchs is, and the loss of half of the brainwashed masses in the USA, is because these oligarchs have played one of the best games in the world. They have played people's minds. They have played that certain processes and certain positions are good for the country. But just like how Russia was, USA is right now. When Mr. Trump has come in, and I'm not saying that Mr. Trump is all good, but there's a procedure happening where these oligarchs need to be put to heed and want to play the game. because the game is to get a balance in the world. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about one of my podcasts. I talked about the federal bank. How the federal bank came to power. In 1913, they signed one of the craziest bills on Christmas Day to basically take the economy of the United States. And they killed off a whole lot of bankers in the process. The killing of the whole lot of bankers was the Titanic. If you guys ever read about the Titanic, everybody thought that the Titanic just sank off the coast of some Arctic and an iceberg took it down. Ain't nowhere an iceberg could take down like a 70-ton ship or whatever, how much it weighed, like straight steel. It was the first false flag, many, which took a whole lot of people. There was a lot of prestigious people on that Titanic, a lot of bankers. And when that went down, about a couple weeks, couple days, whatever it was, the Federal Reserve was signed into law. That was the beginning of the end of the American economy. But these people, the good guys, dark to light, these good guys have been fighting till that. They tried to take over it when Mr. Kennedy came into power. He got assassinated, and ever since then, the bad guys have been running the show. But now the side of the Trump side, whoever these guys are, they want to get the balance back into the world. And Russia was the first domino to fall. Now USA is the first domino to fall. This big announcement regarding the Mueller investigation, which is going to find no collusion, means there's going to be a lot more dominoes to fall. And I implore you guys, whoever's listened to my podcast, to really research and dig deep of what's really going to be happening in the next year, the next months or so, because there's a lot of people who are going to be coming out, who you guys don't know about, who you guys do know about, who are going to basically sink this ship and get these oligarchs away from the power they possessed in all the years or centuries or whatever it is. This is a monumentous moment for the alliance, or whatever they call them, the good guys. I don't really call them good guys. I just call them the woke guys, because they ain't good. They ain't bad. But they know that there's no way that our civilization can keep on going at this pace and survive. Straight up. What I've been preaching to you or talking to you guys about is one of my number one thing. What the most thing I really hate in this whole world is money. Money is the root of all evil, and it has been like that for the longest time. The reason is we throw all our energy, from our human energy, into this piece of paper which does not exist, this piece of currency which does not exist. The reason why it is so powerful is because we give it that path to be powerful to us. It is one of the craziest things ever. Since the day you were born, you go to school for 12 years, you go to college for 12 years, earn a degree, get a job, and work till you die, basically. You work till 60, 65 years old. You can retire with all this fake shit on you, and then in about 10 years you pass away. I don't think that we were born that way. I think we're born bigger than that. So that is my opinion. I stand by my opinion, and I think that's right. Money should not be the end all and be all. Like, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and on this. People are advertising. They're more narcissistic now, and they want to basically sell themselves for a little piece of this pie. And it's a joke. It's so funny of what people will go down and the lengths they go down to get a piece of this pie. But I digress. You know, you are free to pursue whatever you need to pursue, and hopefully you find truth in it. That's the number one thing. But all in all, when it comes down to, it was a big victory today, because I have a feeling that there's a lot more things which are going to come out in the next 7 months that is going to blow people away. And I hope people are ready for it. I told you guys to do your research. You know, I just know when the first time I was woke was probably back in 2011. So it's been a while. I was studying the Illuminati rituals and all that, and I went to I googled or YouTubed an interview with Savali. If you guys want to see that, it was with David Icke and Savali, and she was talking about some stuff which blew me away, about these bloodlines, how these people do rituals, how all this happens. Frightened out of her mind. And I listened to that whole interview, and I went back at it, listened to it one more time. And what she was saying, I just stood in there. It was about probably 12:30, probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And she's talking. And after she did, I went back and I'm studying what she's saying, and it just hit me. Like Egypt, it hit me. Why they do these sacrifices? Why they push and push to get these dark forces into people's lives, into the earth, into all the situation. And basically I froze, and I didn't go to sleep all that night. I was freaking awake for like 7 to 8 hours because everything just threw me into it. That was my first woke moment. And what I got from it is, these people who do the dark forces, these demons do the dark forces, they want to be in control. First and foremost, they want to be in control, and it's control of everything. Control your soul, control the papers, control of your lifestyle, control of everything which gets thrown onto you. But the biggest thing about it is they throw it all into one thing, and the one thing they throw it all into is the currency we get, like the money system. So whatever these guys are doing, whatever sacrifices, whatever they want to do, they sacrifice, do all that, and that energy goes into the money we make. And that's how they survive most of the time. And it's a scary thing. But somebody tapped into the matrix, found this out, and basically they said, you guys ain't gonna do this anymore. You guys need to get the fuck out of here. You know, this money is going, that energy which is stored in this freaking currency is going to the people who have been throwing that energy in there, and it's theirs. Russia has done that. And that's the reason why everybody is on Putin's ass, telling them he's the enemy. He's the enemy. He's doing this. He's doing that. But all in all, he set his country free. You know, it's time for America to get their country free from these oligarchs. And everybody knows who these oligarchs are. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Oligarchs. They're already in the mix. You know, it's the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Pinders. All these guys are there. You know, there's another sect right below them who work for them, the Clintons, the Schumers, the Pelosi's. I'm in Canada. I know who else works for these guys, the Trudeaus. You know, it keeps on going and going. But something's getting unearthed. Something is getting unearthed right now, and we're going to see a difference in it. And hopefully we see the difference in my time. You know, Justin Trudeau's having a lot of trouble. You know, he's coming out. People are being awake to the fact that this guy has been fake all the way through. Fuck, what do you expect from a fucking drama teacher? You know, he's an actor through and through. Talking about, oh, he's for women's rights and stuff. And then it goes in the back, goes behind the back of people and freaking calls out his attorney general, who's a woman, saying that you gotta shut the fuck up and we need to drop this case. She found something which was illegal, which honestly, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I commend the dude who was talking to Mr. Kinney, and he said to Mr. Kinney, he put the dots together. He says a little bit about Pizzagate, but I'll let you guys research our Pizzagate. But he's like, you know, Justin Trudeau came up to us. Can we investigate what Justin Trudeau is to Hillary Clinton and this Pizzagate thing? He hit it right on the button. Mr. Kinney could not really answer that because, you know, these guys are all in cahoots together, you know, and he hit it. He hit it on the spot. So, yeah, you let us know what that deal is. You know, but Mr. Trudeau is in trouble. He's getting exposed. And that's another domino which is going to fall. The connection is big. And it goes through all the continents. It goes through Africa, it goes through North America, it goes through Asia, it goes through Australia, it goes through us, Canada. But these people are slowly falling. I'm gonna just touch base on the New Zealand shooting. That was straight up. Everybody knows about what a false flag is. Hopefully, a false flag is basically you go in, you do damage, you do whatever it is to carry an agenda. That's basically what it is. And the agenda was very put forth in take everybody's guns and restrict free speech. That was basically what New Zealand was. You know, I pray for the people who did pass away. But there's a bigger picture here. And the bigger picture was that. But the funniest thing about it, I was listening to, quite frankly, one of the coolest dudes. I'm gonna call him one time, when I'm off and stuff, and just give him a little bit of my 2 cents. But when that law was put in New Zealand, turning your assault rifles and turning all your weapons and stuff like that, because we need to cleanse our country of this ill will. Only 37 people out of 6 million New Zealanders turned their guns over. Because this is a war, people. This is straight up war. This is a war for your minds. This is a war for your property. And this is a war for the energy you have put into this earth. And honestly, would you want to give up the right to protect yourself for that? This is the people are waking up. The universe is on a different plane right now. Whatever these demons are trying to do, people are not listening. And that's the truth. And what they're trying to do is trying to do one of the worst things ever, is trying to get into the minds of us, the minds of our kids, and trying to change that narrative. But our kids are more smarter than we are, and they see right through it. And these people do not see right through it, because they've been in control for so long that they think that whatever they throw out, whatever tricks they throw out, thinking that it's a new trick, that people are going to fall for it. But you see it, people ain't doing it anymore. And it's so sad when I'm looking at it, like, people are calling them. How many times have we were sitting there talking about Russian collusion to a president, and then all of a sudden no one is talking about Russian collusion. Everyone thinks that it's a big joke. It's failing, man. It's failing. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully I could sit there and really see when people just say enough is enough. We need to bring ourselves back, and I think it's going to happen. I really think it's going to happen, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious when it happens, I've been sitting there doing interviews. I've been doing a lot of podcasts. I've been trying to throw my truth out, and that's all I really can do. I don't care if I have one person listening. I don't care if I have 2. I don't care if I have 1 million people listening. I really don't care. This is my truth to it. And I just want people to know that this is going to be one of the glorious things when you're going to see a change in this world. You're going to see a change where people take their power back. You take the power back, and take the power back hard. Because all these people have lost control, and they're trying to gain it so much. All they know is offense. All they know, they want the next thing. Let's do the next false flag. Let's do the next big thing, the next law which can do this. Let's talk about climate change. We're gonna die in the next 12 years. They've been talking about that since 1989. They said in the year 2000. That was probably 11 years. Everyone knows that we'll be under the sea. Like, most of the country will be under the sea. In the USA, in Canada, it will be so dry. We'll be freaking underneath some shit. I don't know. But it didn't happen. Now these motherfuckers come back again in 2019. and they're talking about the next 12 years we're gonna be underwater. We're all gonna die. You know, this is what they do. They stoke our fear, and people ain't having it anymore. You guys have done this like 3 or 4 times already, telling us that we're gonna die because of the earth and stuff. The earth has been here for 4.5 billion years, even longer. And you're going to sit down and talk to me about 100 years of research saying that it's going to be hard. The earth has been doing cycles all the way through. The earth protects themselves. It's called Mother Earth. It's going to protect what it needs to protect. It's going to protect what it needs to protect. You just have to give it back to Mother Earth. You know? You just gotta hug it, do whatever you need to do. But it's going to protect what it needs to protect. And there's no science about that. So quit with this shit. I'm sorry, quit with it. This climate shit bullshit. Just quit with it. That's my little rant. But lo and behold, guys, the next 7 years, 7 months, you're going to see something. Russia freed themselves from them oligarchs. USA is going to free themselves from their oligarchs. Canada is going to free themselves from our oligarchs. And when that happens, a reset's going to happen. And there's going to be an even playing field. How that's going to work, who knows? But we ain't going to be suffering like we've been suffering for the last how many centuries. So, take my word for it. We're in some good times right now, people. And we are in very good times. We're going to be okay. As much as there's doom and gloom in the horizon, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Us as humans beings has survived for many, many, many millennia and many, many, many generations. We're still here. They ain't taking us out. As much as they try, because they think they want to be sitting on the pedestal. And I'm not talking about only humans. You know, humans do work for dark forces. Humans do work for light forces. The people who are higher than us, who think that we're just shit, you know. And there's some people who are higher than us who think that we are gods. So it works either way. It's a battle till the end. Which side are you on? And then we'll go from there. This is Cadence Radio. Womala signing out. And I hope you all doing good. Peace.